Racing. Good launch there from Grosjean in, great start also from Andreas Stefan down towards the first corner. Turi got away pretty well as well, and Sample didn't get a good launch. He's down to fourth place by the first corner, but Grosjean in made amends for his poor start and that difficult fortunes that he had in Q2, and is now leading the way very commandingly indeed over Stefan. You can see there Turi coming under a bit of pressure there from Riley Sample, who's looking pretty aggressive, and Werner Panhauser, well, he has not had a good launch at all. He's down in P5 at the start of lap 1.
No, not a good start for him, but Jerome there making amends for Q2. The perfect launch there. He couldn't have asked for anything better. Just able to drive into turn 1 with nobody in front of him and no pressure around him either. So he's now got his own race to try and make up for having that puncher as well in that last race. So I'm sure Jerome is going to be on a big push here.
You can see that Turi's running a bit wide here. He's making a bit of a mess actually of this final sector, just beginning to come under a bit more pressure from Ronnie Sample, who is now behind the Hungarian wildcard here, and just doesn't seem to be so much more comfortable in that final sector here, Dan. Just not able to get the car rotated enough.
No, just not quite got to grips with the car yet. Of course, it is his first event in the car, so maybe added seat time will help him out, but yeah, really not got it nailed at the moment.
Well, Grosjean doing a good job extending that advantage. 2.4 seconds it sits to this man here, Andreas Stefan, who is in P2 at the moment. Of course, it doesn't only count for where they finish in the points standings in terms of their races, but also in the time points as well. So they need to have a good, clean run, the likes of Jerome Grosjean and Andreas Stefan, to keep themselves in the time point standings quite high up in order to get themselves in good contention to make it through into the semi-finals. We'll find out how that all pans out after the third Q3 race, which will be coming up very shortly indeed. So here then is Grosjean leading the way, and this is good from Grosjean. This is what he needs to do. He likes having a clear track in front of him, not having any pressure from behind. And it's working out quite nicely for him so far, just extending that advantage lap after lap.
Yeah, he's pulling out a big gap, already up to 4.3 on this lap. So yeah, he's definitely the pace man of this race, and he's just going to drive away with this one, unless of course he runs into some problems like he has done previously. But you'd expect him now to be out and clear and gone.
Yeah, it wouldn't be the first time that Grosjean has been a bit of strife so far this season. You can see there he is leading the way very commandingly at the moment. Andreas Stefan, though, doing a very good job in P2. Of course, he runs and owns the Estering circuit, where our final event will be taking place over the 2019 season. A bit tight there actually on the entry for Grosjean. It almost looked like he had to sort of take an opposite line through that first corner.
Yeah, it's very tight barriers here, isn't it? So you don't want to be getting too close to those, otherwise you will be running into trouble. So having to just adjust himself mid-corner to make sure he doesn't hit one of those.
You can see there that is Riley Sample. Werner Panhauser doesn't seem to have the pace so far. Of course, it's his first weekend in the Pantera RX6 supercar and just doesn't seem to have an answer for the likes of Riley Sample, and also Tamas Turi, who is in third position there so far. This field actually relatively spread out in terms of its performance here, Dan, as well. So clearly a bit of a pace difference going on between these drivers.
Yeah, you can see on the timing screen on the top left of your picture the gaps between all of the drivers. So they've all managed to get themselves fairly spaced out. I think the gap was 5.7 as they were on the last lap. So Stefan has gone up to 6.6, so almost a second taken out of. Well, the gap is increased, sorry, by almost a second between Grosjean and Andreas Stefan. So he's on a big push here.
Now, this is the thing with Grosjean. You'd expect that from him. He needs to do this. He's a rallycross driver through and through. He knows these Pantera cars probably better than anybody else in this field at the moment. And, well, of course, you would expect him to be doing that. Anything less would be disappointing.
Yeah, he knew that he had to be out and beat these guys who he's in amongst the race with, so that he could get himself a solid position for the semi-finals, and that's exactly what he's done.
So Jerome Grosjean comes over the line. He takes victory in Q3 here in Hungary. Then Andreas Stefan will come home a distant second, but a good result there for the German nonetheless. Tamas Turi, the local wildcard, finishes in third place. Riley Sample there in fourth, and Werner Panhauser, the Austrian, his fellow compatriot, in P.